Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we are going to be comparing another very similar moment from the first Red Dead Redemption, and that is Arthur's goodbye versus John's goodbye. So there are a ton of similarities between these two moments. We'll start to talk about all of those once you have a better idea of what happens during them. But just to set up the scene, it's a goodbye that Arthur says to Abigail and Sadie, and it's a goodbye that John says to his wife and his son. And both of them occur in the final mission of the main part of the story. So let's begin in Red Dead Redemption 2 since we're going to do this chronologically. This is in 1899. This is when Arthur says goodbye to Abigail and Sadie just after dealing with Agent Milton, the Pinkertons, and escaping Van Horn before returning to camp.
I can tell you're fine.
Ladies, hey, I'm fine. Hold up a moment. Yeah.
Arthur, there's no time.
There's time.
What happened to John? Where's John?
I don't know. I think...
Arthur.
What?
What?
He got killed or he got captured.
No.
I'm really sorry,
No!
Abigail. I was on the train and I didn't see it.
No!
Listen, we got Jack. He's safe. Mrs. Adler will take you to him. But, John, I want you to know this. He loved you. He loved you, and Jack, he did. He wasn't perfect, but he did. Now, you gotta go get that boy. Go on, get out of here.
Arthur, what are you doing?
I gotta go have a little chat before I get much sicker.
No, Arthur.
Don't you owe Arthur me. Neither of you two. Not now. You both know. I gotta go settle some things. For me, no one else. You go get that boy. There'll be time for sorrow later.
If you're headed back there, Arthur, take this. I don't need it anymore.
What's that?
There's a chest in them caves, in the back to the left, hidden under a wagon. Dutch's chest. It's all our money. I know John told you I knew where it was.
Abigail Roberts.
Always was a good thief.
That you was. Go on, get out of here.
Alright, so that was Arthur's goodbye, and after that he has his final ride. Let's jump forward 12 years later to 1911, when John says his final goodbyes to his family, Jack and Abigail, as they're set to ultimately leave the barn.
Hey, come on. Now listen, Jack, darling, get on this horse. Get out of here. Go find a place to hide.
You're coming with us, Paul.
I'll catch up. You keep riding and don't look back. And don't be worried about me, you hear? Now get going.
You stay out of trouble, John.
Ain't no trouble, Abigail. Ain't no trouble. I love you.
I love you.
Now go! Get!
Okay, so now that you've seen both of those, let's talk about some of the similarities and let's talk about some of the differences. Starting with the things that are the same, obviously they both occur in the final mission of the main story. They're both a goodbye. Abigail is present in both of these goodbyes, which I'm sure she's getting sick of by now. There's also another character in the goodbye too. In Red Dead Redemption 2, it's Sadie Adler. In Red Dead Redemption, it's Jack Marston. In both instances, the person saying the goodbye, Arthur and John, are basically putting the other two on a horse and sending them off. That's what Arthur did with Sadie and Abigail, and that's what John did with his wife and his son Jack. They're also both fleeing from the Pinkertons in some degree. There's a little bit of a difference here, but the story basically remains the same. As you guys know, when Arthur returns to camp, the Pinkertons eventually show up and they sort of force them out of their camp. And in Red Dead Redemption, the Pinkertons are literally waiting outside of John's barn door to basically shoot him. So lots of similarities right there. Sort of building off of that, another similarity is it both leads to the death of the main characters. John Marston obviously dies, and then a little bit later on in that mission, Arthur Morgan ultimately dies. Another similarity is immediately after the character's death. So in Arthur's case and in John's case, you then control who you're going to play in the epilogue. So in Red Dead Redemption 2, that's John Marston, and in Red Dead Redemption, that's Jack Marston. So it is sort of the transition to the next character that you ultimately play. A couple of other similarities as well. It also leads to the overall theme and plot of redemption. Obviously, in Red Dead Redemption 2, when Arthur is killed, that inspires John to go after Micah and avenge him. And in Red Dead Redemption, when Jack finds his father's body, it ultimately inspires him to go after the Pinkertons and go after Agent Ross and Agent Milton. Both goodbyes also gave a overall theme and warning to keep Jack safe. Arthur wanted to keep Jack alive so he could live his life. Same with John in Red Dead Redemption. So there's an absolute ton of similarities between these two goodbyes, and that's what I think makes it so cool. Now let's talk about some differences, of course. In Arthur's goodbye, he's actually given a choice by Abigail. Now, he doesn't have a choice to stop the goodbye from happening. But remember, Abigail gives him a key which ultimately affects the ending of the game. Nothing that Abigail does in John's goodbye ultimately affects the outcome. It's not like she hands him a pistol or a grenade or something like that, and then John can, choose to use that. And I'm sure you guys could pick out a few more differences, like obviously John doesn't go on his final musical ride after that. But for the most part, most things are very, very similar. But I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about Arthur's goodbye versus John Marston's goodbye. Which did you think was best? Is there even a best, or are they both amazing? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.